morning, everybody. Welcome to TMC Trading Max Club. So today we're going to be looking at the top movers. Here we go. All right, guys. So today we're looking at the top movers. If we look at the list, Nvve is the top capper. Let's take a look at it. Um, it's got our 180 simple moving average moving at around 30 degrees. We got the 50 simple moving average moving at about 60 degrees. So what we would like is for this to continue going this way to market open and just bounce the heck out of it. Like it could bounce right here. So let's say that it to market open, it hits right there, it prints buy with a nice green candle. Let's make sure that it's green, okay? And I would buy it at around $7. That would be my entry. Oops. Sorry about that. That would be my entry, and my exit. Well, let's see what kind of pitchfork we could make. Let's take a look. Let's do a modified pitchfork as well. We're looking at a potential. What is this? Green. Oh, let's call it yellow, so you can see it better. Okay, so we're thinking about an entry around here, around $7, and a potential gain all the way to 920. So what probably would happen is you would probably get a market butt order around here, like around, let's say, 720, and your stop loss would be around 689. So you're looking at a potential 26% gain with a little 4% risk. Okay, that's what the pitchfork is saying. So and I would think that it's around 820, between 820 and 835. That's what I would think. So maybe a little more this way. Maybe 835. Let's move everything to the right. Maybe this way. Something like that. It's not perfect science, of course, but we're looking at around an entry at 724 with a market order, a stop loss at around 692, and about a sell at target around 920. Obviously, we would have to break the pre-market high. At that point, what I would recommend is just keep following it like a kite. It might go all the way up here, which would be the best case scenario, all the way to 1125. That would be the best case scenario. Obviously, the stock market does whatever it wants to do. Let's take a look at VDTX. VDTX is in the same boat, but now notice that it already hit the 50 simple moving average. So we're looking for it to hit the 180. So let's see if this continues like this. Let's see if that continues like that. We're hoping that this continues and then hits, that it continues red and then it hits it around 840. That would be the best case scenario, right? And then it prints a green candle at 840. And it prints buy, obviously, And once it bounces off this 180 simple moving average, then we can draw a pitchfork. Let's see what we're talking about. Let's see, it's a buy here to the high to the buy. Let's do the modified pitchfork. All right. Not totally convinced because it's a little sideways. We're looking at a target around here. A target, maybe a buy order around 538.
VST.
Stop loss around here. Let's color that on red. And we're looking also a potential all the way to here. Let's call this one green. So if you enter right here and your first target is right here, then you have about 26% reward with a 4% risk. Okay, just wait for it to print buy though. It has to print buy right here. So it needs to print buy with a UT bot alert. If it doesn't print buy, then you don't buy it, right? It has to print buy right here. Let's make it thicker. A nice thick candle. All right, right here. If it doesn't do it, then you don't buy it. Okay. Let's take a look at Octo. Octo's an interesting one. This one comes from Doogie Hot Picks. He looked at this last night and it's on an uptrend. So this thing might continue this way. Let's see if I can. This thing might continue this way like this. So market open, right? And if it does, then this, it's already at a buy, so it might continue on its merry way that way. It looks like a strong buy, so we're looking at maybe at market open right there, buying it right here, and you have a potential gain of maybe 5%, maybe, I don't know. This stock, it doesn't really play to what I like. Now if it does pull back though, if it continues on its trend, I don't really like it for day trading. But if it would happen to do this, okay, if it were to do that, I don't think it will. And if it happened to print buy right here off of this, let's make this a nice thick green one, then I would buy it, right? And
VST.
but it's hard to tell where this thing's going. There's a chance it might just continue on this trend right here, like this. So it's really doesn't have a lot of potential. That's the problem with this one. So maybe 10% if we go to here, maybe 10%. Not looking, it doesn't look like a lot of potential, You buy it here, probably sell it around there with a stop loss right here. That's what you're looking at, around 14% if it does come back to here. Now Oklo was another one that we looked at on Friday. It looks like it's continuing on its merry way. So this thing might give us an entry right here, and if it prints buy around 9 in the morning, then we might want to enter it for a small gain. Like this been giving like 10%, So let's say that you entered here with a stop loss here. You would probably be aiming around probably here for $9. So you're looking at around a potential of like 6%, 6 to 7% with a 1% risk. So 7 to 1, not bad. Okay, let's take a look at TGL. TGL is another interesting one. If this continues this way, and this happens to pull back and hit it, of course, we don't know what it's gonna do, but let's say it pulls back, it prints buy right here, and then it would be might be a good entry, right? Let's take a look at the pitchfork. The pitchfork says, what the pitchfork says. It has some potential. Well, let's say we put an entry right here with a stop loss right here. So this could potentially go there, which is 37%. So this was quite interesting if it makes that move towards the 180 simple moving average at around 10 in the morning. VTYX, we don't know yet. This one, I think it's a little bit overbought, but you never know with these things. What if it does continue going? Like, we're looking at let's take a look at this blue line, this simple moving average. What if it continues like this? It's the blue now. And what if it does come back and hit it around 9:15, and then it prints buy? And this has some potential, right? If it does all of those things, there is no guarantee that it will, but if it does, our pitchfork says yummy yummy, right? Because it has a first target of $3. And let's say that we enter right here at market price and it has a stop loss right here, then we're looking at around a potential of 15% with a risk of 2%. Not bad. But all things considered, we don't know what it's gonna do. BHVN, where am I getting this? This is one of the movers. This is a low float sweetheart. I love low float sweethearts. Let's say that it continues like this, and then it happens to hit it for no reason other than why not, then it could potentially print buy right here around 9:40 a.m. Potentially, we don't know. Remember, it's non-deterministic.
QUAD.
And then we would have an entry like here. We'd have a stop loss right here, and let's ask our pitchfork where would be our first target. Pitchfork looks pretty interesting. So my first target, according to the pitchfork, would be way up here, and if we sell there, then this would have a nice return, right?
KABL.
It would have a nice return of 16% with a risk of 1%. Of course, all things considered, we don't know what it's gonna do. Take a look at Peggy. Peggy's looking more like a swing trade. RKLV is looking interesting as well. So if we notice that it does this, hope that it would come and bounce off of this 50 simple moving average, and we would hope that it prints buy exactly right here, and then we would have
RBNC.
a situation. Let's take a look at what our pitchfork says. Pitchfork would give us some potential here. Let's take a look. Okay, so we'd have a stop loss right here. We would have an entry probably around here, and we would probably exit around. Let's see where we're. All right, exit B. Your exit would probably be over here. This has some nice potential, like 6%, with a risk of 1%. Okay, what about Google? Google looks pretty interesting as well, but it's already hugging the 50, so I would wait till it hits this 180 simple moving average. So if you wanted to buy Google, I would wait for it to hit the simple moving average, because I don't know when it's gonna do it. Don't look at it as a like a timeline. It's not gonna be for sure at 11:55 a.m. But you're waiting for it to do this, and then you would buy it, okay? And you would probably stand to win like maybe 2%. It's not one of those big gainers. Amazon, the same thing. You would want it to bounce off of the simple moving average. You would want it to go like that. You would want it to be red, and then you would want it to print buy. All of these things need to happen. And you can just sit back and relax and wait for it. So right now, the stock that's really catching my attention is probably Nvve. It's really catching my attention. Maybe around 8:35 it might print buy. TGL's another one that's catching my attention. It's doing crazy things. It already did it. Like it already, if you think about it, it already printed buy at 5:45, and it already did its thing. So if you bought TGL at 6 in the morning, you're doing fantastic. You're up 40%. Congratulations. If you woke up early, you did your little look. It's gonna hit the 180 EMA, simple moving average. Sorry, you printed buy. You bought right here. You bought at 5:40 in the morning. You set your stop loss right here, and you went for this much. Look at this. It already did everything it needed to do. It's perfect at 6 in the morning. So we missed out on this party. We should have woken up earlier. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. I'll probably have a recap, see what happened. Remember, we're looking at potential candidates, and Nvve is looking amazing. Could give you maybe, what was it? Can't see it. Could give you about 26%. Cabell joined the room. Let's take a look at Cabell. Just Cabell all of a sudden appeared out of nowhere. Let's take a quick peek. Oh wow, Cabell just took off for no reason. But again, these are hard to play because where is the simple moving average? Where is everything, right? So for this one, I would recommend you just buy it and sell it quick scalp until you can see an entry. If you could see an entry somewhere here, you know, if there was an entry, because I don't see one yet. If it did something like this, if it went red for a little bit and then it printed buy again, maybe I would consider it. But for right now, it's hard to play because all you see is green candles. You're just buying price. So if you buy it, it's very risky. We don't really see an event happening yet. Remember, we buy at the event. The event is bouncing off of the 180 simple moving average or the 50 simple moving. But look at the 50 simple moving average. It's already bouncing off of it right now. All right. What else, guys? Let me take a look at our good friend Blaze from Hot Trades. Yeah, he hasn't put anything yet. Yeah, he's looking at TGL, XPOD, NVVE. Let's take a look at XPOD, and NVVE. This guy, Hot Trades, he's been on a limitless pill, so I would consider whatever he's looking at as top priority. And XPON's looking interesting as well. This blue line could continue here. And maybe, I don't know. Remember, non-deterministic. What if this comes back like this and prints buy right here? That would be pretty cool. And then we would be thinking about, okay, let's take a look at this. So this X bond looks interesting. So we'd have an entry right here. Let's see. An exit right here, right at the base of the candle. And we would be looking at potentially again right there. So we're looking at a potential of 30% with a risk of 4%. So XPOD is looking good. Now Blaze is saying TGL is the main stock. We already looked at it. It has a potential of 40%. We're waiting for it to let me erase this for a second. We're waiting for it to print buy somewhere around here, but look, it already took off. So we wanted to pull back, okay? And he's also looking at NVVE, which we did look at. It's another potential powerhouse. But remember, we have to wait till it prints buy, and it needs to bounce off of either this blue line or this white line. We can't like assume that it's gonna bounce off. But if it were to bounce off, let's say that it came all the way over here, that would be awesome, because then it would probably go bigger, if that makes any sense. From here to there is a small percentage, right? This is what, 26%. But imagine that it started here, then this would mean this would go 60%. So we're hoping that it bounces off all the way over here, gives you an entry around 576. Okay, that would be the best case scenario for NVVE. Now we don't know what it's gonna do. We just have to wait till it bounces off of something. It's either gonna bounce off of the 50 simple moving average, or it's gonna bounce off of the 180 simple moving average. We just have to wait for the event. For all things considered, we might not even get it to bounce off of anything, right? And there's TGL. I guess TGL is number one on his list right now. This guy's been on a limitless pill. Every time he puts one in front of everything. That's the one that runs the most. I don't know how he's doing it. But obviously TGL, it already did it. It already ran from 6 in the morning to right now. It already ran 42%. So I guess he's just saying, guys, this was a stock. This was a stock you needed to buy at 6 in the morning. 550, you know? It already did everything we wanted. It went up, it pulled back, it bounced off of this 180 simple moving average, and it went 42%. So if you would have woken up at 5:40 in the morning, you could have already made your money, and you could go back to bed and be happy. Okay, guys, but that's it for today. We will see you at the recap. We'll see what happened. Bye bye.